This is the story of a bridge, Stratford's oldest footbridge. It's Lucy's Mill Bridge. This is a painting of the bridge from when it was first erected, when William Shakespeare was alive. This is the Victorian version, and this is what you'll see now, an Art Deco style version constructed in the 1930s. From the centre of our town, Bancroft Gardens, you can start a wonderful walk along the riverbanks. Up past Cox's Yard, then out onto the riverbank itself. The views are special. The river is full of swans. It's time to take your dog for a walk. There's the Royal Shakespeare Theatre. There's the town's boathouse. Just before the end of the tramway bridge, you turn right onto the wreck. On busy summer days, the footpath is full of residents and visitors. There's a ferry visitors sometimes take, but most walk on towards the views of Holy Trinity, the place where Shakespeare is buried. Some just relax and feed the swans. It's a walk through a canopy of willow trees, shade from the summer sun. Once at the church, people often take a seat on one of the many benches. But people don't stop at the view of the church. They can walk on a little bit more, cross the river, and actually go inside. First they cross the bridge at Rushbrook. Led by the sounds of the weir they can't yet see. Walking down to in front of the weir, ahead is Lucy's Mill Bridge. It's obvious that this is the next stage of our town's riverbank journey. There's an opportunity to watch the fishermen, and information boards to read. As people approach the bridge, the future might bring the opportunity to bear just a little left, to take a walkway through the trees, an oh-so-gentle climb that anyone can manage. Whether it be retirees who want to take it easy, any family with pushchairs or youngsters' bikes, and people who use a mobility scooter or wheelchair. Very different to these steep steps. The future is going to be difficult. The wreck may look different in years to come. You may have seen the plans that could change this, the onion field, into lakes, camping areas, nature reserves. It's a project which could rejuvenate the wreck, bring more tourism and places where residents can enjoy themselves. Towards Seven Meadows Road, you can see one of the two proposed new cycleways, which would lead straight to the foot of the steps of Lucy's Mill Bridge. But there is nothing on the plans, which do need to find quite a lot of funding, about the ramps you've just seen. The ramps that would make Lucy's Mill Bridge a bridge for everyone. Cyclists have always used the bridge. They carry their bikes over. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes. All that has just happened has pushed forward the need to provide much more real opportunities for cycling for people of all ages. This isn't something new. It has lots of health benefits, and bespoke cycleways mean no accidents with cars. Just over 10 years ago, there were nearly 20 trial projects across the UK. Lots of ideas were tried, and there have been 2 reports on what worked and what didn't. There are lots of ideas for Stratford, and some plans, but it will all need large amounts of funding. There is one thing that is certain, though. This is the footpath back into our town. It would never be wide enough to be a shared space for cyclists and pedestrians. Any bridge for cyclists at or near Lucy's Mill Bridge, a bridge that people could cycle across, would only be a gateway to the Greenway, to go out into the countryside. What of the numbers of people, pedestrians, who use the bridge? If you choose a sunny weekend day, you'll be amazed by the numbers. All these people were filmed in one 5-minute period, including this train of young cyclists, their parents and friends. Getting all of them up the steps took work. It will be easy if the ramps you can see on this animation are built. This illustration can happen. It's an option that has had an awful lot of professional work done to show what could be built. Do remember what you can see here. On the north side of the river, ramps built into the footpath from Saffron Meadow. Around 15 years ago, 3 options were investigated by Warwickshire County Council. A ramp on the south side of the river was always possible. The 3 options looked at for the town side were this one, a back and forth ramp, a circular version, and this one, attaching what would be a new bridge to the Seven Meadows Road Bridge. The investigations all looked at both building ramps and enlarging the width of the bridge itself so that cyclists could cycle, not push their bikes across, sharing the space with people walking in a space 3 meters wide. That's sometimes the number of people you saw in the video of the young people and the adults using the bridge. Over 60 people in 5 minutes. Sometimes it's many, many more. This summer it was getting close to 1,000 people an hour at the busiest of times. And remember the sentence at the end of this part of the report, that any refurbishment or replacement of the bridge would have to be funded entirely by the County Council. More work has been done by very highly qualified and experienced architects. This is just one of their drawings. And this is more of the animation. It is possible to have a ramp on the north bank. Land ownership has been checked. Surveying has been done. The design retains the bridge and adds ramps which can be styled in a number of ways and which will be hidden away where possible with minimal loss of trees. Yes, the bridge width would still be 1.5 meters, but the ramps would be wide and with passing places so that everyone could share the space. It would be a bridge for everyone, for cyclists of all ages, for families with pushchairs, for people who don't have as much mobility as they used to, and for all the Stratford residents who use mobility scooters, and all those who visit our town. Let's get back to Stratford's Riverside Walk, used by residents and visitors alike. Those steep steps are a challenge for little dogs. People often like to stop and take in the view, but this video is about the future, so let's carry on. If everyone could cross, they could head up the footpath to Holy Trinity. You come out into one of Stratford's oldest streets. There's the first view of Holy Trinity Spire, then the gate into the church. Shakespeare's grave is visited by hundreds of thousands of people each year. If you've been into the church, this is your vista to go on to Old Stratford. Where to then? When they leave, they can venture into the theatre gardens, the final part of a lovely walk that is as beautiful as any. It's where RSC actors sometimes entertain. Young people gather. Shaded gardens right next to the river. These famous characters will soon be back. Shakespeare's plays will be performed again. You could meet more swans. Then come to the oldest part of the theatre. Soon, lots of people will walk this route. Soon, these tables will be full of people again. The Rec will be busy. Just a week before lockdown, this feasibility study was published. It was thousands and thousands of pounds worth of the highest standard of professional consultancy, all done and then given to the friends of Lucy's Mill. The consultants are Copperleaf plc, experts who provide infrastructure advice for some of the biggest companies in the world. Their work was arranged by the Operational Research Society, a group who support charities and communities who need specialist help across the whole of the UK. The advice, the report, went to each of the councils that run our town, the County Council, the District Council and the Town Council, and was sent to all the elected people who represent us. It was also made available to residents, and still is on the Lucy's Mill Bridge website. There is an economic case, there is a social case, there is a health case. This work was published just as our whole world changed. Now we need to look forward. Remember back to the County Council report? When local councils were rearranged in the late 60s and early 70s, the bridge was given to Warwickshire County Council to look after, to manage. There will be decisions soon about more changes to local government, its structure. But Warwickshire County Council have specific funding streams they can use for all their work, not just infrastructure. If the bridge were owned and managed by another body, then other funding options would become available, as they are for the owners and managers of buildings, bridges, parks and lakes, bodies who are accountable to and often community-owned. How long will it take to find government funding that matches all the aspirations for cycling? If cycle bridges are needed as part of these wants, how much would a new bridge cost compared with renovating Lucy's Mill Bridge? Why does a bridge like Lucy's Mill have to wait, when so many people walk across it, and so many residents don't? It has to be said that if you can't use Lucy's Mill Bridge, you don't go near it. That just leaves the tens, the hundreds of visitors. Make that thousands of visitors who don't know that it's difficult to climb its steps, or that they will have to turn back.